Yeah. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I said the end, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I don't fully straight apply. Or when I'm stand up for the stone, I live my life. Been east to rich when east and east when I make it thighs. But the schoolies never bet for me. My dough is still for thighs on the horn. Niggas know they cute you, I keep out the bone. But let's get it, you know my me, you must be up the shown. And when I see your neighbors smile, you will say a front. And if they got me, no, then you know I did the con. You up the icon, I see the fact. This scene I'm easy, but I hate I wake, so what I pack. I keep a searing in the rain, then I smoke as trash. And if I get, I'll keep a far. No supplying a yeah, taking trash to the sky from my reason to living. All the flu on the plane that resenting me reeling. Jacks kicking out of love, I might never be willing. At least you'll never know what you I can never forget. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I 7 in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, you know by now it's on the line of people, but you never know this name, it's Kanana sequel. Sticking fresh, taking down, so decide the needle. Put down, stay the time to line like you want the needles. And if you hate when I like the brown, it's like your cam in the ground till they come now. But like I'm so fresh up and through the moves confused. And now I know what's up and noon and that was all for you. Say you never lose, thanks it's native Purricana. I was go he's not a like a bagel, drink your face. But I was thinking to his soul when y'all was by the cover. And now I rain, man, I gain like the May whatever. I say blend flame mind, you gave me no restriction. This nap so hard, go within and never missing. Convinced that you need love me now, but sure never tripping. It's the enemies of all, boy, yo come and get tripping. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I say the name, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream.
Live your dream. That's what I'm all about right here at GPTV1. I want to welcome y'all. Wednesday edition. Y'all know I do this every Monday and Wednesday around the same time. Unpacking some of the latest headlines, trending stories, giving my commentary, me analyzing some of these stories out there. This story right here, I covered this story with Brandon on the last live cast, live stream, and it's just a crazy story. And I'm going to take a look at that tonight. And I'm also going to look at quesos. That's another story I've been covering, or I did cover. And I actually got a whole playlist for queso. So I looked at that whole. And for this, man, he's so fried. He's stepping in the building the first time here. Click that subscribe button. Do me a solid, click that like button, and click the notification bell. That way you can stay up to date on some of the latest stories, latest videos. You can go to my channel, check out the latest video I did on David. Posted right now. I appreciate it. And it's all for you, fam. But like I said, tonight I will be unpacking and giving my commentary on this guy, Brandon, Isabelle. All these people worked over there at FedEx, and it made some headlines. I'm also going to look at queso, but before we get to all of that, I want y'all to check out this public announcement. Welcome to the GP Inner Circle. What up, though, GP fam? I'm excited to announce that the GP membership is now officially active. This is your chance to step up and show your support in a way that truly matters. By joining the Inner Circle, you will unlock exclusive perks tailored just for the most dedicated supporters, because you deserve nothing less. But that's not all. The Super Chat feature is now live, giving you an even greater opportunity to engage with me and the community in real time. Your support fuels my passion and creativity, inspiring me to deliver the kind of fire content that only the GP fam deserves. So why wait? Join the GP membership today and be a part of something special. Let's elevate this community together, because when you thrive, we all thrive. Welcome to the inner circle. Your journey starts now. Much love. Much love, much love. You know I'm all about the love right here at GPTV1. And it's a few ways how you can support this channel. You can hit me in the super chat, or you can send a donation to my Cash App or my Chime, or you can visit the GP store, get you one of those t-shirts over there that keeps me motivated, that keeps me going, and I appreciate it. Brandon Isabelle, I got to give you a losing horn for this one. Crashing out on this situation right here. Now, he went crashing down the stairs with this particular story right here. And when I listened to the prosecution and the closing argument, they painted the picture of why he did this. Why did he throw this baby in the river? And it seems like he was doing all of this to stay with one of the side chicks. He was texting her all throughout this situation, and he was basically begging her to stay with him. But to his defense, he was trying to make it seem like the girl made him do it. Like she wanted this girl out of the way and his baby out of the way. And it be stuff like that, be cases out there like that. These guys be sometimes it's the female too. It ain't all guys. They don't want to lose this other person they want to be with. They be so love struck that they will get rid of the other person. In this case, he got rid of the person and the baby. I caught hold of this story because I watch a lot of court TV. I normally don't cover stories that got something to do with babies and that type of thing, you know, pain and stuff. But, you know, this is just pure evil. And I do want to send condolences to this young lady and her family. And far too often on this channel, you got to send out condolences. We don't want to forget the victim. So, but this is just evil, man. And that baby just didn't have no chance. And that's just the sickening part about it. He knew that her folks was going to come looking for this girl. They want to know what's going on, where she at, this, that, and the third. In his mind, he was going to get away with all that. He was going to end up with the girl he wanted to be with. When he crashed out and did all of that, he wasn't thinking about his other son, or his other child that he has with his wife. You got situations like this, the person be thinking about themselves. And the other chick, in my opinion, was being rational with this guy. She was not pressing him. She did not want to deal with the fact that you were still married, got a baby with your wife, and now you got this side chick pregnant. She didn't want to deal with that. She didn't want to deal with that. And she told him that in the text messages. You got too much going on, and you need to go take a DNA test for this baby. And if it comes back yours, you're going to have to deal with that. So basically, it's no more me and you if this baby is yours. that you claiming it's not. Or don't know, confused about it. I want to go to the sentencing with Brandon and check out that video. Get back to my music here. Yeah, I want to check out the sentencing. I didn't know that he actually got on the stand. I want to check that out too. Check this out. Okay, this says jury recommends sentence for Brandon Isabelle, baby in the river murder. Interesting. Let me share my screen right here, family. Let me pause that. Share the screen. Do it like this. Expand that. Let's get some sound going on.
Hit the pause button on this testimony in Michigan because we have breaking news out of Tennessee. The case against Brandon Isabelle. He's already been convicted of not only killing his girlfriend, but also throwing his 2-day-old baby into the Mississippi River. The jury was tasked with a penalty, and we understand that they now have a verdict in this second phase. There was a white light that's on the wall there inside of the courthouse, and it came on, indicating that these jurors have reached a verdict. 2 hours and 30 minutes they've been at it, and they were told that they had to make a decision on whether or not he qualified for parole. We're seeing that movement already inside of the courtroom. Not sure yet if the jury is inside. We'll see if they rise, but let's listen to what the judge says.
Kind enough to prepare the order for pre-sentence report, and I think we all agreed that we would show up for a report on October 31st if necessary, right? The hearing is set for, she wrote on here November 3rd, but I thought we agreed on November 12th.
You're in the courtroom? Yes. Nice and innocent when it's time to get in court.
You may be seated. It is my understanding that a decision has been reached. Yes.
If we get to this time to get in court, it'd be nice and sweet then.
That's correct.
And is it unanimous?
Yes.
And all signatures are affixed to the document?
Yes.
If you'll please provide that document to Deputy Moore. I told you when this started that I needed you to do this job. Thank you. You may be excused.
Jurors excused. Like to step.
Right about now, he do not look like a cold-blooded killer. What do you think?
Mr. Isabelle, according to the documents provided by the foreperson of this jury, we, the jury, unanimously find that the state has proven the following: aggravating circumstance or circumstances beyond a reasonable doubt. The murder was committed against a person less than 12 years of age, and the defendant was 18 years of age or older. We, the jury, unanimously agree that the defendant shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life.
All right.
You will return to this court on October 31st for the status report on the remaining charges. As to count 2, life imprisonment. As to count 1 was an automatic life sentence. And we'll pick up on counts 4 and 5, the aggravated child abuse and the especially aggravated kidnapping, on November 12th for a sentencing hearing after receiving this pre-sentence report. Thank you.
Life, automatic life on the first charge. You are a cook, buddy. And then you got to come in there and get those other charges, get sentenced on those other charges. And this is without parole. You're never coming home. I heard through the grapevine that people in prison don't like you doing stuff to little kids, especially a little baby, and women. At least that's what I heard. I'm sure you can find other podcasters. They will tell you that, because you got people, I mean, there's all kind of podcasters out there. So you have people that did time in prison. They got podcasters. And they'll tell you stuff like that. You go to prison, they don't like those people who do stuff to children. Like, they give you a real hard time in there. But I did not know that this guy actually got on the stand. You know, that's always a big mistake. Well, they try to advise you not to do that because the cross-examination will kill you. But sometimes that's the last thing you can do. That's like your last resort, you know. And he did that. I was shocked. I want to go to that too. I never saw that. I just want to see what the hell this dude got to say on the damn stand for throwing his baby in this damn river. You were completely out of your mind. Completely. You were thinking about yourself. You was not thinking about your other kid that you got with your wife. And I can't wait to play what that lady said about you, because in my opinion, she really laid it out. You tried to get rid of them because you was trying to get back with this girl. You weren't trying to get back with your wife. You was trying to get with this other chick. And she just didn't want to have nothing to do with you. You already got a kid with your wife. Then you got this other side chick who you don't want to mess with. It's just pure D evil. At least in my opinion. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Throwing this baby coldly in the river. Do y'all think that's evil? Do y'all think this guy should ever get parole? Or should he just spend the rest of his life inside there? He may have a little narcissism going on there because he think he a player. He had all these women. But let me share my screen. Let's go to this. I want to see this guy on the doggone stand. What the hell you got to say? This is live Unfiltered. Let me share my screen, family. Hold on, fam. I had to stop sharing that. And let me switch to this other one. So this was actually on day 7. And let me slide it up some. So this is the dude right here.
You made a decision to not
you
testify,
got?
and I'm certain that Mr. Massey and Ms. Fuchs have informed you that the jury will be informed that they can't hold that against you. You have the right to remain silent. Has anyone made any threats?
Do he look like a cold-blooded killer? When they get inside that courtroom, they be looking nice, spiffy, clean, proper, respectful.
Threats or promises to get you to not testify.
Okay.
You're entering into this season, this session of not testifying. It's your choice and yours alone.
It don't look like he'll do something like that, would he? He just is calm.
And that you understand that no one can draw any inferences, meaning no one can assume what you would or would not have said just because you didn't testify. And that's basically what I'll tell the jury. They can't hold that against you. You understand? And you've had enough time.
I'm pretty sure the defense went through him first, so I'm gonna sort of scan through that. But I really want to hear the cross-examination, like literally. I mean, these people be getting on the stand making complete fools of themselves.
Not only just
Like I said, GPTV1. You know what I say? Looks can be deceiving.
this morning, because I know you spent some time with your lawyers this morning to discuss this issue.
That's
And
right.
you did yesterday, right? I need more.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't need additional time to discuss this decision. You're clear, and you're clear on what you're going to do.
Play out.
And you're satisfied with what they've been able to share with you as far as where we've been going
Let's
throughout
get to the
this process.
question. Okay, he understands the rules, he understands his
Yeah.
right. Let's get to the question.
Can you
Call
please
a little
just
break right here. Hold on, fam. Skip that. Let me slide this up some. I want to get to the question. What we're talking about. Now you done sat down. What happened? What happened?
I don't want you to feel as though I'm ignoring you and I'm not here. I'm here. You just let me know when you're ready. Okay.
Well, I guess he didn't testify.
We do.
I guess he didn't testify.
Good morning, Mr. Isabelle.
Okay?
You have sat through this trial, right? And you've listened to all the proof along with us.
This is
You have to
calm.
speak up, Mr. Massey. Thank you. Try to get you an additional microphone.
You've heard all the proof along with us.
Now, mind y'all, this baby was only 2 days old when this guy did that mess.
And even before that, we've gone over the proof that we expected to be shown in this case, even showing PowerPoints and those kind of things, so that we may make sure you were aware of all the discovery about it. And after hearing the proof today of this past week, and
I really don't want to hear the defense. I want to hear the prosecution get on.
rest,
They resting right now, so I guess the prosecution didn't go through that. But this woman right here really laid this thing out, and I really want to hear this. There we go. This is what I want to hear. She laid this out.
The defendant's phone. And what did they find? Web searches. 2 days out from the murder, and the defendant is searching Jared in the wedding ring section. And then he had some additional searches. Can all bullets be traced back to the exact gun that fired them?
Dang.
Can you tell what gun a bullet came from?
Look, these are digital footprints. Y'all, these folks be thinking they smart and all that. They just go through your history and look up the stuff you've been Googling.
Now let's move to February 1st of 2022. And you heard
Got to get on
Special
what?
Agent Garner tell you that he was able to tell the defendant's movements throughout that day.
That's
and
how they
earlier
track
that
you.
day, he's on Mart Road. And you heard Investigator Byers tell you that Mart Road is along Lakeview. And it's an easy turn to miss in the
I'll
dark.
talk to the folks on Twitch.
And if you notice on the
Thanks
map,
for checking me out.
you take Lakeview and you miss Mart Road,
Shouts out to
next
Facebook.
turn,
X.
Sedgwick and Levi. Dark, desolate, deserted.
Yeah.
Now the defendant told us in his confession, and his GPS told us,
Did it?
he met Danielle at the MAPCO.
Well, play out.
And why? He told her he had baby clothes to give her. And what was found in the defendant's white Chevy Malibu,
The baby's
baby
clothes.
clothes.
So this guy right here making all these blundering mistakes. In his mind, I'm gonna get away with this. What? Them folks called immediately looking for that girl. Immediately. And you know how we think in the hood, we ain't trying to call the police and all that. His mama called the police. But that girl's folks, hey, they would come with them choppers. We ain't trying to call no damn police. They're about to handle him.
And then we get to the scene.
Facts.
Levi and
We
Sedgwick.
ain't calling no police. They're bringing them choppers.
He gets Danielle to meet him at that MAPCO. He convinces her to drive down Levi and Sedgwick. No lights, dark, quiet, raining. And he tells us in his statement that he had car trouble. Think about the scene at Levi and Sedgwick. Danielle's Chevy Cruze parked on the wrong side of the road. And what did the defendant tell us? She got in position to shine her headlights to help him out with his car trouble. And what did he do? He walked up to her Chevy Cruze.
Dumped on her.
He opened the passenger door and he fired.
Fired.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots into that car, striking Danielle 5 times in the face and head.
Damn, dog. Player. You did all that to get with that other girl.
Premeditation. Now by 9:23, according to his GPS, he's moving on. He's leaving the area of Levi and Sedgwick.
Just left her there.
And who does he have with him?
The baby.
He has baby Kennedy.
He went and shot this girl and then took the doggone baby. What were you thinking about, my man? What kind of dope you was on? That ain't no crack.
And while Kennedy's in the car, and he has left her mother dead in a ditch on the side of the road, he's covering his tracks.
Yes, sir.
He's sending text messages to Danielle, knowing that she'll never answer.
They ain't trying to play it all. No, he did. No, you did. You tried to cover your tracks by texting the girl you just shot up. Who you think was gonna buy that, my man?
Now, he's been driving around. We're at about an hour.
With this baby.
Kennedy's been in the car. And he stops off at home to get out of his murder outfit, those Adidas slides, that windbreaker-like jacket, the black and the greenish blue. Takes the time to hang that jacket in the closet. Comes back out, gets back in his car, and what does he do? He drives to Mud Island.
Mud Island. Right off the Mississippi.
All the way from Cordova,
Nice little ride.
passing numerous exits,
About a 20-minute
numerous
ride.
houses, places. All that time, could have made a different choice,
Yeah. Plenty time to think about it.
but he
Premeditate.
went. And he drove on Island Drive to get to Mud Island, to that boat ramp. And he took baby Kennedy by the leg and threw her into the Wolf River.
Go in the river. Can you believe that?
Count 4, we're going a little bit out of order, is
Can you believe that? And Mud Island is actually a good area. You know, it costs a little money to stay over there. But can you believe this? I mean, this is premeditated.
aggravated child neglect. And you can see the elements for aggravated child neglect, what the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. that the defendant knowingly neglected Kennedy so as to adversely affect her health and welfare, that it resulted in serious bodily injury, and that Kennedy was 8 years of age or less.
2 days old to be exact.
And there you have the definition of knowingly, as well as serious bodily injury, all defined in your jury instructions.
I mean, they had Danielle's mom on here, and it was just sad to see her testify. And literally, the grandmother only spent like an hour with this baby. And after that hour with this baby, the baby was gone. And I want to remind the audience, they never even found this baby. That's a serious tragedy.
What did the defendant do with Kennedy? He took her down to the boat ramp at Mud Island. In the dark, in the cold, in the rain, out of her car seat. And even if you believe that he didn't throw her in the river, he just left her by the river and she somehow managed to go into the river.
Anyway, anyhow, it's still heinous.
He is still guilty of murder and perpetration of aggravated child neglect, serious bodily injury or death, adversely affect the health and welfare. He left her where she could fall into the river in the cold, in the dark, and the rain.
Mind y'all, while he was doing all that, he was still texting the side chick he wanted to be with. While he doing all of this, he's texting the other girl, hey, I want to be with you. Hey, I want to cuddle with you. Hey, I can't live without you and all this stuff. He literally texting the other person. Not only did he did that, he went and met up with her after this.
And as you see, that goes hand in hand with count 3, and that's the murder and perpetration of aggravated child neglect. So in that count, the difference is the defendant didn't have to intend the killing. He had to intend the aggravated child neglect. Last count, especially aggravated kidnapping. You can see the elements. What do we know? The defendant, after shooting her mother, takes Kennedy,
Dang.
takes her from Levi and Sedgwick, drives around Cordova, goes to his parents' house, goes all the way down to the river, and kills her.
Dang. Cold blood. Cold blood.
The state has to prove identity. How do we know that the defendant, Brandon Isabelle, is responsible for each and every one of these crimes?
That's what I want to know.
He told us. You listened to his interview with police. He told us. He told us exactly what he did. We have the GPS
Yes.
that Special Agent Garner went through
Digital footprint.
methodically, telling us all the points of where he was located throughout that day and night.
The folks addicted to their phones, they be taking their phones on these crusades, these heinous acts, and they just track your phone.
His phone, a silent witness to those murders.
Yeah.
The text messages. And you'll have those text messages between the defendant and Artesia.
Artesia, that's her.
They're going back and forth throughout the night. And why is that? Is it because they're in 2 different locations? They're not together?
All
And
in
there's the
mix.
shell casings. The defendant, he told us, he shot Danielle with his 9mm. What do we find? 9mm shell casings in the passenger seat of Danielle's car,
Oh, he was close by.
2 in front of her car,
Close range.
and a loaded 9mm magazine in the defendant's white Chevy Malibu in the center console.
Feeling a little generous, you can send a little something to my Cash App, and the super chat is wide open.
And he told us what he did with Kennedy. That he took her to the boat ramp, took her by the leg, and threw her into the river.
Man, cold blooded.
And what did he say in his statement? It didn't go as far as the gun. And what did officers find on that boat ramp?
When he tossed that baby, the hat came off of the baby, and the police found that hat on the side of the river. So that baby, God was with that baby in some type of way. Let him know, hey, look, this dude doing something to me.
Kennedy's baby cap.
I'm gonna leave me a trail.
Why'd he do it? What's the motive? You'll notice that is not an element that the state has to prove. But it's pretty clear, the motive here. And it's Artesia. The defendant wanted to be with Artesia.
Yeah.
You heard her testimony. You've heard the text messages. She didn't want to have to deal with another child on top of her child, on top of the child the defendant already had, another mother in the mix.
Bunch of chaotic stuff. You know, left your wife, you got a baby by the wife. You ain't even think about them at all. You're not thinking about your first kid at all, period. Now you got this other side chick that you really don't like. You got her pregnant. Then Artesia, she got her own baby. She probably got some baby daddy issues going on her side. Like, she told this guy on several of those text messages, look, this ain't gonna work right here. And plus you need to get a DNA test.
And so he came up with this plan. And he never wanted that baby. And you can see in that text message that he had sent to Danielle, what does he say? I can't be a father to that kid right now, Danielle. If you love me like you say you do,
Play out.
then let's end our mistake, Danielle. But Danielle wanted to be a mother to that little girl. That little girl wasn't a mistake.
Check this out. You know how the saying go, they always say, watch who you marry, but more importantly, watch who you have kids by. You doing all this stuff and you're not using no protection, things like this can happen.
Now let's fast forward to January 30th of 2022.
The baby didn't deserve that.
And you heard the text
actually
messages
be here.
between Artesia and the defendant. And this is in the late night of January 30th. What we know is that Danielle's already at the hospital and she's in labor.
Yeah,
about to
break
give
it down.
birth
Break it down.
to baby Kennedy.
I want to hear this.
And what is the defendant texting? He's texting to wifey, Artesia, I love you.
Why Danielle
Baby,
up in the
say it
hospital
back.
having that baby.
You doing this to me in a time like this. And what does Artesia respond? Tell her have a safe delivery. I'll talk to you when y'all get the results.
You telling them.
Then we move in to those early morning hours, right around the time that Danielle is giving birth to Kennedy. And what is the defendant doing? He's still texting Artesia. He's still sending her messages over and over again. And what is Artesia's response? I'm gonna make this simple. If it's yours, build that bond. Get to know her as a woman because she loves you as well.
Yeah.
I won't need no response. Silence will answer that for me. If it's not, we still need space to take this relationship slow.
Artisha is being rational with this guy. He trying to rush into this so-called relationship, and all this is going on while Danielle landing up in there having his baby.
She's slipping away. His perfect woman is slipping away.
Yeah.
And what does he do? While his baby has just been born, he's still sending text message novels to Artisha, professing his love.
Let's listen to a few of these text messages, then I'm going to move on to queso. I want to see what that thing was like. That's another hot story that was trending on the podcast circuit, and it's like a rebuttal. But let's go.
And they're still going back and forth. And he says to her, "This the worst I've acted over a female. Never wanted somebody so bad. You knew this day was coming. Why wait until now and all this love and time?" And then what do? That early morning, after Kennedy is born, they agree to meet up. And where does the defendant suggest? Where you want to meet at? Our river spot?
Artisha went and met him up with him after we did this baby. And
now we're at February 1st of 2022. 7:58, the defendant gets back to his home on Lathbury. Then he's gone again at 8:05. And he's dressed to kill.
That's the kid. Again, here at GPTV1, I want to send my condolences to Danielle and her family. And this is a tragic what happened to this baby.
According to the GPS data, he's at the MAPCO at 8:32 to 8:51 p.m. And he says that in his statement to Sergeant Boyd and Sergeant Wimbush.
And he met up with
He met Danielle at the MAPCO. And we found the baby clothes in the Malibu. Now we're moving on. Between 9:02 and 9:23, GPS has him at Levi and Sedgwick, and he admits to going there.
right where he killed that girl at.
And during this time, he and Artisha are still going back and forth.
Texan.
And you'll notice that from 9:04 to 9:22, he stops texting Artisha. All those blue messages, Artisha. Green messages, the defendant. And what is he doing in that gap in time, that 9:04 to 9:22?
Killing Danielle.
He's shooting Danielle 5 times in the head and the face and taking her sweet, precious baby and driving away.
Bang. Damaging evidence, buddy.
You see what's left behind. Danielle and those 9mm shell casings.
Just left her.
And he drags her, and he tells us how he drags her out of that vehicle by the shirt. And look at her clothes. Look at how her jacket is pulled off her body.
So he dumped on her. All right, folks. Been checking this out. Like I said, we was gonna listen to a couple of those text messages, and he was just texting this girl the entire time. All this stuff while he doing to Danielle, he texting Artisha. Even while he planning and thinking about this, he's texting Artisha, confessing his love to her. He even told the girl, "I'd never act like this." over a woman before. And Artisha is being real rational with this guy. He's telling you, hey, look, this is too much going on. I got enough stuff going on myself. And all these women worked at FedEx. Artisha, Danielle, and this guy, they all worked at FedEx. But little is known about the wife. Little is known about the wife or the first child. But I still say this guy just threw his life away, and we really don't want to be seeing stuff like that. Like, we don't want to be seeing these guys up in these court systems and court cases and all of that. But when you're stuck in your own head, things like this can happen. So, you know, I say prayer goes out to both sides. You know, there's a super crazy case, but that was a closing argument. He already got found guilty, and he was sentenced to life. And the very first charge was an automatic life. So they really didn't. They was really debating on what charges to actually give him. And they only took that first one to give him life, and more than likely gonna get life on the rest of those charges, man. But this is another case, man, just being caught up in your head. And to me, you know, you sort of being a player, like dealing with all these women, you know. And the attitude probably would have went like that with Artisha if she would have got pregnant. You know, his attitude would have changed. With Artisha, you so in love with her, but the girl you got pregnant, you hate her. What if you get Artisha pregnant? What you gonna hate Artisha? You hate your wife? That's it on that. But let's get to Queso. Queso is another trending story. This rapper out of Jacksonville. And we often say on these podcasts, these rappers and entertainers, they get famous for the wrong reasons. You know, they may have one or two songs, they may trend and do some numbers on, you know, the platforms and all of that. And then they get caught up in some stuff. And some of these artists be like established artists, like Lil Durk. Lil Durk faces some stuff, and he really was an established artist. We're going to be looking for that case too whenever it comes around. But I think his is a Fed case. But let's get to some of this Queso and see what did they sentence him to. Him and his buddy, and that's that case where his own father testified against him. In case people didn't catch that one, his own father testified against him because his father. It was cold-blooded what they did. It's one of them situations where these younger folks, these rappers, they be smoking, they do something called smoking on the dead. And people get offended by that. Usually other ops, gang members or whatever. They get mad if they see you smoking on their homie or their family, like smoking on the dead. It's like smoking a blunt or something. And this is one of those situations where someone locally down there in Jacksonville made one of those songs, diss songs, and he's smoking on these people dead and all of that. And this guy Queso supposed to went and knock the guy off for doing that. And this was not a big hit record either. This was like a little local record. Like nobody really even heard the record. But just a little small amount of people who did hear that record, it caused allegedly Queso them to go attack this guy. They didn't know him personally or nothing. They literally researched this guy, found this guy, and went and knocked him off. And guess what? The guy was going in there looking for a job. They just gave him a job assignment. And it's just crazy, man. But let me go to that Queso and see what they talking about with that. Let me share my screen, family. If you're in the building, do me a solid. Click that like button. Listening to the replay. Click that like button. So, no, we don't want to go to Brandon. We just did that. So let me go to was this. Okay, that's not what I want. Hold on a second, fam. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Let me share my screen, family. Rapper K-So, and he just had signed a record deal too, and flat out, in my opinion, threw his life away. Let's go.
This court obviously has a tremendous amount of discretion in terms of enunciating a sentence for that separate charge. What I would argue just briefly to the court is my client stands before you just a mere 24 years of age. This offense, obviously, he was extremely young when it occurred. Additionally, as the court likely is aware from looking at the pre-sentence investigation, he was not somebody who had had a number of felony convictions. He did have some interaction with the Department of Juvenile Justice, but they were actually referred to a youthful offenders program.
Yeah, she's trying to get it reduced.
No valid driver's license.
But these guys
We
cook.
would obviously request that any sentence be run concurrent to the sentence pronounced in count 1, as well as strongly consider the very bottom of his guidelines as to that particular count.
All right, thank you. I'll hear from the state.
And I think one of the other people that was on this case, they end up telling on these guys.
Judge, with regard to Mr. Whitaker and count 2 specifically,
Giving up
the state
information.
would ask that Your Honor impose a consecutive sentence that is a completely separate crime, a separate victim. That crime was committed, as Your Honor knows, as a direct result of the flight from the murder in this case. And that individual, the victim in that particular case, was home alone. Both Mr. Whitaker and his co-defendant, Mr. Barner, broke into that home and held her there against her will for over an hour.
Yeah, I remember
She was
that.
also physically grabbed and thrown to the ground.
So after they did this hit on this guy, they didn't even know this guy, period. They did a home invasion when they was trying to get away from them because I think the police started chasing them. Let's go.
It was a terrifying event for her, so I would ask for a consecutive sentence in count 2.
This is cautionary tales. Don't follow in their footsteps.
All right, then Mr. Whitaker, if you'll come forward, sir, for sentencing.
Scotty, ATK, Scotty.
Judge, as we're coming up, Ms. Schlax, I believe, is already in agreement with this, but just for the court, there are 2 restitution orders in Mr. Whitaker's case. One is for $1,200, and that is for Ms. Buckley, damage to her glasses and loss of her cell phone. And there's a $7,500 restitution order that is to victims' crime compensation, and that is for funeral expenses that were paid out. And I will have some restitution orders in Mr. Robinson's case.
Knowledge is trapped in people's heads. Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm the
That's ATK Scotty. Yep, they did a home invasion after they did this hit.
To be clear, Ms. Schlax, no objection to these 2 restitution orders?
No legal objection, Your Honor. As to the second amount of the $7,500 of the funeral expenses, I assume it will be jointly and severally liable with not only Mr. Hakeem Robinson, but Mr. Dominique Barner, who has entered a plea in this case, admitting his involvement, as well as Abdul Robinson Sr.
Young
The
guys,
restitution
too.
orders do reflect any money paid by any other responsible co-defendant. Will go towards that as well.
Okay. I'm not sure if senior is considered a co-defendant necessarily in this case for him to share in that expense. Perhaps he is, I don't know. I'm not making that determination today. Also, just to be clear, these have to be submitted electronically. I'm not signing these. That's the new policy from your office and ours.
I will have it submitted electronically.
You'll need to submit those electronically for my signature. Okay. Anything else? Mr. Whitaker, do you wish to say anything? Okay. All right then, Mr. Whitaker, of course you sat through the trial, as did I, and on July 31, this jury did find you guilty both of count 1, murder in the first degree, and count 2, burglary with an assault and battery. A unanimous vote by the jury. And so today I will adjudicate you guilty of each of those 2 counts. And on count 1, the murder in the first degree, this court has no choice but to sentence you as required under the law to a mandatory term of life in prison without parole.
Mandatory.
You will get credit for 1,995 days already.
Whoa. Young guy, man. Young guy. K-So had just signed a record deal. And y'all went and did this? Come on, man.
Served. As to count 2, the burglary with assault or battery, that is a first-degree felony punishable up to life. And this court does find that what Ms. Buckley experienced and sustained merits a sentence of life in prison as to count 2. That will run concurrently with count 1 and with credit for 1,995 days already served.
You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? You ain't never getting out of there.
Will impose the mandatory felony court cost of $518, a $150 total appointed attorney's fee. A restitution order will be entered against you jointly and severally with your co-defendants as to $7,500 to the Victims' Crimes Compensation Trust Fund, $1,200 payable to Ms. Buckley, and that will conclude the sentence. You do maintain the right to appeal both judgments and sentences that I have imposed today. And if you cannot afford an attorney for that appeal, one can be appointed to you. But a notice of appeal must be filed within 30 days. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Is it?
And Your Honor, we are prepared to file that today.
The notice of appeal?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need me to appoint counsel then?
I would ask at this time. His family may elect other arrangements in the future, but I would ask for that at this time.
Okay,
yes,
then I'll appoint, at this juncture, I have to start with the office of
yeah,
the
you're going to try to appeal this case.
public defender
you're going to do that.
For purposes.
He wasn't the actual shooter. They really saying Queso actually did the shooting, but he was with him back there in the car waiting on Queso to come back from doing it.
Of appeal.
We rolled over there with him.
Do you understand your sentences? All right, sir, that's going to conclude your case today.
And the guy, the mastermind who got all these guys to do all of this, he the one snitched on all of them. The mastermind who gassed them up to actually do this, he the one that snitched on all of them. Literally. That's incredible. Let's move on to case.
Oh, what is happening? Hold on, bring him back.
Let me slide it down.
He's got 2 other matters.
ATK Scotty. So what they gonna do with this guy? They go Queso.
Lawful sentence that this court can impose, and that is mandatory life in prison without the eligibility.
Okay, here we go.
That the court's hands are tied, and it's a
We're gonna do with Queso.
So at this time, before the sentence is imposed, we have no legal argument.
Okay, and I always give every defendant the opportunity to speak if they wish. Mr. Robinson, is there anything you wish to say? Okay, anything the state wishes to say?
Nothing additional, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Robinson, if you'll come forward for sentencing.
Okay, ATK Scotty life. You know what you're gonna get, buddy.
All right, Mr.
You supposed to
Robinson,
be that
again,
leg
on
shooter.
July 31 of 2025, the jury found you guilty as charged in count 1 to murder in the first degree by unanimous verdict, and at this time, this court will then adjudicate you guilty of that offense and sentence you to the only lawful sentence that this court can impose, and that is mandatory life in prison without the eligibility for parole. You will have credit for 1,666 days of time already served. I'll impose mandatory felony court costs of $518. I'll enter a restitution order payable to the Victims' Crimes Compensation Trust Fund, which will be joint and several with your co-defendant, in the amount of $7,500. Do you understand your sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, of course, you do maintain the right to appeal both the judgment and the sentence entered.
Yeah, you know, he's going to try to appeal it. He already tried to get a new trial. And there's another interesting, intriguing thing about this particular thing. Like, they gassed him up to go do this. You supposed to be the star. They're supposed to have videos and making music and all of that. And they gassed you up to go be the damn shooter. Everybody, all like these bum people, literally sent you out. And he recorded all this stuff. They actually recorded that hit. They recorded that hit and sent the video to the ops and all of that. Like literally, like what kind of world we living in, y'all? Y'all tell me. But anyway, man, it's been fun. I enjoy doing this. So y'all stay tuned. Do me a solid, click that like button. subscribe if you're new here. Catch me next Monday. I do this every Monday and Wednesday. Really relatively new to the channel, so trying a lot of new things with this channel, man. I got so much going on. But until next time, y'all stay safe out there. Stay blessed, fam.
Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I said the end, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I don't fully straight apply. Or when I'm stand up for the stone, I live my life. Beneath the rich, when east and they stick when I make it fast. But the schoolies never bet for me, my dough is still for thighs. I'm the horn. Niggas know they cute too, I keep out the bone. But let's get it, you know my me, you miss be up the shown. And when I see a nigga smile, you will stay up front. And if they got me, no, then you know I did the con. You up the icon, I see the fat. Missing, I'm easy, but I hate, I wake, so what I pack. I keep a searing in the rain, then I smoke as trash. And if I get, I'll keep a far. No planet yet. Taking trash to the sky from my reason to living. All the flu on the blame that resenting me reeling. Next kicking out of love, I might never be willing. At you'll never know what you I can never forget. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I said the